It's California Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. I'm glad you're with us. Over this half hour, we are going to be speaking to a man who has lived a lifetime of firsts. It's interesting that in the 21st century, there is someone that is still breaking ground. I recently spoke with Yvonne Burke, a former member of the Board of Supervisors. She broke ground left, right, and center, but that was in the past. That was in the last part of the last century. But this man, Roberto Otunga, is breaking ground, and he is living a lifetime of firsts. This is the cover of the magazine of the Association of Community College Trustees. That's a hint to tell you what this man does. He is on the Board of Trustees for Long Beach Community College, but he is currently serving as the chair of the National Association of Community College Trustees. Congratulations, sir. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
And I want to talk about you before we talk about some very important issues facing our nation, and that is your lifetime of firsts. You are the first American-born in your family. Tell us about your family.
Yeah, that's what they call an anchor baby.
Right, oh my, an anchor baby that's many years ago.
And you know, and actually I am the baby in my family. I'm the last one born, the youngest out of 6 siblings. The migration north from Chihuahua, Mexico.
So you are of Mexican descent?
Yes, my mother and father were both born there, and they were immigrants. They immigrated to El Paso, Texas, which is where I popped out, and moved to Los Angeles, where I grew up for my first 16 years. I attended schools in Los Angeles.
In East Los Angeles?
Specifically East Los Angeles, yes.
And then your brother did something to honor the entire family. Yes,
well, my brother, who's about 14 years older than me, served in the military just before the Vietnam War. And when he got out, he did his reserves, and then he used his GI Bill to do 2 things. First of all, move the family out of East Los Angeles into a better neighborhood, and we moved to what I call the Chicano Burbs, which is a mixed American community out in Santa Fe Springs, and I attended Santa Fe High School, played football, and just did what high school kids do.
But this high school kid went to college.
But this high school kid did go to college, and then
the first in your family.
The first in my family
to go to college,
and then that comes the second part with my brother, because he ended up after I already was done and gone. He enrolled himself in ELAC, East Los Angeles College.
Community college.
And attended there. And there's always been, if there's a rivalry in my family, it's between that brother and my sister.
Okay, not you.
Not me, no, because my brother, while we were growing up in East LA, and if you're familiar with the East LA area, Roosevelt is the Rough Riders,
right?
And then Garfield Bulldogs. They have a huge rivalry. And my brother went to Roosevelt, and my sister went to Garfield. Then years later, here we are. He's at East LA College, and my sister attends Rio Hondo College.
And those are rivals.
And those are rivals.
And the irony is, you have those 2 siblings who went to community college, and you, in fact, did not go to community college. No. You graduated from Cal State Long Beach, of which we are at today.
Yes. Brings back old memories.
It brings back old memories, and Cal State Long Beach wound up playing a pivotal role in your life. You worked at Cal State Long Beach, ultimately moving on to work at the city of Long Beach, and then today you are the administrative officer for the city's health department. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
That is quite a remarkable job, overseeing 400 employees, while you are also.
Yeah. Well, I've had an interesting career path with the city, because right before I moved to the health department, I was the manager of police impounds. I was what I call the toad dog. That's where this mustache comes from.
I was going to say, and it is your signature. People know that this handlebar mustache is yours, and I will never allow you to shave it. It is your brand, so you're stuck with it. But let's back up a bit and talk about your ride into politics, which has been a storied one. Both you and your wife have been activists. Your wife, Tonya Reyes, had a very successful run on the Long Beach City Council. You had made a run for the Long Beach Unified School Board. You were not successful in a squeaker Is that right?
I wouldn't call it a squeaker when I'm 5 out of 6.
Okay. Well, someone who, I guess it was your wife who lost in. Okay.
She lost in the squeaker. She her first run for city council in '94. On the election night, she won by 26 votes, and as a result of a recount, counting ballots, she lost. She ended up losing that election by 1 vote.
But
one vote.
Every vote counts.
Every vote counts. I always use that as an example when I talk to groups of people regarding the electoral process, that your vote does count.
So your wife was ultimately elected to the Long Beach City Council in 2002, but 2 years prior, you ran for the Board of Trustees for the Long Beach Community College District, succeeding an African-American who had been the first African-American on the board, Patricia Laughlin, and talk to us about that race.
Well, I'm very proud that I was able to get her endorsement. In fact, it was through her urging and prodding to get me to run, because I had already been actively involved in Long Beach politics and as a community activist, mostly dealing with educational issues, trying to address high dropout rates, trying to address promotions of minority faculty and staff, and retention of faculty and staff.
And you became the first Latino elected to the Long Beach Community College District.
Yes, and that was by 100 votes.
By one,
it was close.
We'll call you Landslide Roberto. I'll like both of you. It's the Reyes Uranga landslide.
There you go.
Was that relevant that you happened to have been Latino when you ran in 2000?
Well, it is now.
No doubt, no doubt, and because you are living a lifetime of firsts. But, 2000, a long time ago, but not really.
Yeah, and let me tell you why I think it is now. Before I ran for the trustee position, City College had been going through these turmoils of unstable leadership, mainly as their president superintendent. Mm-hmm. There had been an opportunity in 92 and in 96, no, 92 and 94, to select a Latino president superintendent. It didn't happen. Needless to say, the Latino community was up in arms about it, because both times, out of the 5 finalists that were up for selection, 4 were Latinos, and they did not get selected.
And if you think about the changing demographics of Long Beach, I was recently looking at the figures. I think in 1970, Long Beach was about 85% white Caucasian. Mm-hmm. Today, it's about 30% white Caucasian. The Latino community is about 40%. Yeah. And so Long Beach is just filled with rich diversity. Mm-hmm. And Long Beach Community College, for example, has a very large Latino population. I mean, they're all great students no matter what their color is, yeah. But there's no doubt there's something about the importance of representation.
Yeah. There's an importance in also having somebody there that they can identify with, who knows the issues, who has been a if you will, a champion of their issues, and we could talk more about some of those.
And today, the current president superintendent, Eloy Oakley, mm-hmm. although Oakley is not a name of Latino descent, I believe he is of Latino origin. Oh, yes. And he is seen as a real leader throughout the nation. Kind of like someone I know who's sitting before me, whose name is Roberto Otunga. Okay, sir, when we come back, I want to speak with you about a few issues. First, the challenges facing Long Beach Community College, the challenges facing the California community colleges, and then talk about your ascension to become the chair of the Association of Community College Trustees, a national organization. Another example of you living a lifetime of firsts. You are the first Latino to serve in that position. Our guest today is Roberto Otunga. We'll be right back on California Edition. Welcome back to California Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Our guest, Roberto Otunga, he is a member of the Board of Trustees of the Long Beach Community College District. He is also the chair of the Association of Community College Trustees. He has been living a lifetime of firsts, and I honor you and I congratulate you on your successes. I want to speak with you, though, sir, about community colleges here in California, which are under tremendous stress. We know that over the last few years, higher education community colleges have seen dramatic, draconian cuts. How have they impacted community colleges in California?
Well, first and foremost, it's enrollments.
Right.
This is one of the very few times that community colleges have actually turned away students because of the limited capacity that they have to accept students into their campuses. Fewer classes means fewer students.
And as we are speaking now, we are entering summer, and we know that there are many community colleges, 112 actually in California, that are limiting summer courses. Some are cutting summer courses, and if you look at Long Beach specifically, Long Beach City College is having to cut its summer load. So talk to me about how the elimination of summer programs impacts the students.
Well, first of all, let me make the point that Long Beach is one of the few actual community colleges that has summer classes.
Still.
We're offering them.
Right.
Many in our surrounding communities, in the districts around us, are eliminating summer classes. So that has a tremendous impact on the career goals and aspirations of students and wanting to complete their programs. Because of lack of summer classes, they might have to defer their goals to the next semester or the next year.
And at the same time, we have seen the tuition at community colleges skyrocket. In fact, this summer, the rate went up from $36 a unit to $46 a unit. And in 2011 to 2012, California saw the steepest spike in the nation for community colleges, 37%. So, I mean, these numbers are rising and quickly.
Well, it's rising for a number of factors, obviously. And one, the economy is so bad that jobs are limited, and so people are going back to school to retool, retrain. So we're getting an older population of students that are coming to community colleges or using community colleges. And because of rising tuitions, we also have students that are finding community colleges a better buy.
But what's interesting about the spike is even though the rates are rising quite rapidly, California still remains the lowest in terms of fees and tuition for community colleges by a significant amount.
Oh, yeah.
And so that really begs the question, are you at even greater risk of seeing more tuition spikes because it is such a strong bargain vis-a-vis, I mean, you know, you're the chair of the National Association.
Yeah. Well, what happens is that basically, just to correct it a little bit, tuition is something, is a financial situation that universities or any other college, a private institution, for example, can raise. They can do that. For community colleges, it's fees.
Right.
And it's a fee that is charged by the state and controlled by the state assembly and the governor to raise fees. So when we have a spike of $10 that's going to happen effective July 1 from 36 to 46, community colleges, the whole 112, had no control over that.
That's the point. And that's what I wonder, sir, is like you said, the local districts, they don't set the fees, whatever the term may be. It's the state.
Right.
And so are you afraid that because California is 50th out of 50, and that's a good thing at this point in terms of its fees for community colleges, that the state legislature will say, well, wait a second, let's charge more. I mean, we're already a great bargain.
Yeah. Well, and that will probably might continue, it probably will continue. Because when you look at the national average, is around $120, $125 a unit to take a class at the community colleges, and we're at 46. We have a long way to go, and I don't believe that the state would take that kind of drastic measure to increase tuition by $50. It would just be devastating to community college students and to anyone who would aspire to get an education.
Speaking of a large increase, I want to talk to you as a member of a board in Southern California, as well as a national leader, about a proposal by one of your sister districts, and it was Santa Monica.
Yeah.
The Santa Monica College Board, they looked at creating a dual system whereby students could choose to pay, $200 a unit for certain core classes as a way to create additional revenue, and for those students that could afford it, to get through the process more quickly. Caused tremendous consternation.
Well, actually, the thinking is logical, and it wasn't necessarily to raise more money for the college. It's basically to defer classes that other students could take who could not afford the 200 or plus scholarship or money to attend classes, and open seats for those that can't.
But there's no doubt more revenue was going to come in.
Well, yeah, in the long run, it would be more revenue. However, the goal for them was, and that's where they got sort of in
hot water.
In hot water, is the fact that by doing that, they were creating a two-tier type of educational system at City College, the haves and the have-nots, and that created a lot of animosity.
No doubt. Ultimately, the chancellor of the California Community Colleges came out strongly against it. Right. We also know the Attorney General of the state of California came out strongly against it. She said that it was violative of the Education Code. Ultimately, SMC backed down. But do you blame them for at least trying to create an alternate solution to a crisis that is just dramatic?
Well, you know, desperate times create desperate measures. And in this instance, it was a desperate measure, and we are in desperate times. There are other solutions. There's other ways that we can continue that.
But what are they? I mean, we know that, I mean, here's an example. The governor is proposing an initiative on the ballot come November to increase sales tax by a quarter-cent, to increase taxes on the wealthiest amongst us. If that measure doesn't pass, he has been very clear that there will be a trigger cut to education at all levels. The Cal State system, for example, has said they're not going to really admit anyone until they know about whether this initiative is going to pass in November. We just had an election, sir, in June, and a cigarette tax looks like it didn't pass. I mean, if a cigarette tax can't even pass, what's going to happen come November?
Well, one of the, I'm very proud that we're in California, first of all, because California has been very supportive of education. Past initiatives that are passed, I could say that for Long Beach locally. When we put a bond measure on the ballot, Measure E, to help us with our infrastructure issues, more classrooms, updating our air conditioning and HVAC facilities, and get a power station up so that we can generate our own electricity. The community of Long Beach said, let's go for it, and they approved it. One was approved for $176 million in 2002. Another was an extension of that totaled $450 million.
Well, it's interesting you talk about bond initiatives, because I look back, for example, at the November 2010 election. 40 out of 53 local bond or tax measures passed. Voters will tend to pass local tax measures where they know where the money is going.
Right.
State initiatives, we haven't had a statewide tax increase passed since 2004.
And it's the word tax. And it's hard for communities to say they're going to, or for citizens to say they're going to tax themselves in order to support a program. And in this case, like I say, they've been very supportive by passing bonds for community colleges in the past. And there was a statewide measure, if I'm not mistaken, 2008, where there were about, two state measures that would provide funding for community colleges for their building codes.
Passed?
So it passed so that they could have 50-50 equal amounts to fund buildings.
Well, let's do this. When we come back, sir, I want to talk to you more about programs that are being initiated by both the Long Beach Community College District as well as nationally. You are, as we said, the chair of the national organization. We are speaking with Roberto Otunga. He is a member of the Board of Trustees at Long Beach City Community College. We'll be right back on California Edition. Welcome back to California Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Glad you're still with us. We are speaking with Roberto Otunga. He is a member of the Board of Trustees of Long Beach Community College. He is also the chair of the National Association of Community College Districts. He is the first Latino on both the Long Beach Board and as chair of the association. I think that one of the reasons why maybe you have become a national leader is because of a very successful program in Long Beach, and it's called the Long Beach Promise.
Yes.
I hear about that program's success time and time again. Tell us about the Long Beach Promise.
Well, the Long Beach Promise basically is a program that unites our university, Cal State University Long Beach, with our school district, K-12, the Long Beach Unified School District, and with Long Beach City College at the middle of it.
Right.
It provides a pathway for students who might not be able to go from K-12 immediately to the university, but need an opportunity to hone their skills. Certainly affordability is a major factor there. And so what we've done with the College Promise is get agreements together between the three institutions to support one another in being able to provide students with that opportunity for access into higher ed.
And what's interesting about the program is when you look at community college success statewide, Latino students have not performed as well as their Caucasian counterparts, but yet in Long Beach, there does seem to be greater success amongst all students, including Latinos.
Well, and it's a measurement of the population that we have here. Obviously, with greater numbers, you have greater success. There's no question that the Latino population in Long Beach is high. The number of Latinos who are attending City College is high, and hopefully the outcomes are just as high. But there's still a significant number of students that aren't as successful, or I'd like to say stop out, because I don't believe they drop out. They probably stop for a while and come back when they get a little more mature, get a little more settled, get a little bit more, get their orientation and goals in set, and then they come back and attend a community college and then jump on from there.
I want to talk about your national leadership. You are currently serving as the chair of the Association of Community College Trustees. It is quite a remarkable accomplishment. How did you come to become the chair?
Okay. Well, it's basically involved. It's being engaged. It's being having the concern for community colleges.
You're being way too humble. You're being way too humble. I mean, honestly, you were set to run for the Long Beach City Council.
Yes, I was.
You opted against to pursue leadership in this national organization. I want to really know what happened.
Okay, well, basically it's about relationships, as is any political office. I had very strong ties, very strong relationships with members of the board that I was serving at the time. I reached out to them and said I was interested in taking the leadership role for this association. Would you support me? And they did. And I was elected in October of last year, 2011, in San Francisco. And
it's epic. I mean, it really is an epic election. Yes, you happen to be Latino, but it's epic for Long Beach. It's epic for California. It's epic for the nation. So talk to me about your tenure so far. What have you learned? Is California unique in terms of its challenges in community colleges? Are other states doing better as it relates to their fiscal house? Well,
California is unique only in that the financial crisis that we're experiencing here is a lot higher than maybe in a lot of other states.
A lot of other states?
Many other states.
Really? So we are really struggling.
We are really being challenged in California with our educational systems, the UCs, the CSUs, the community colleges, the K-12s, no question. Other states are faring a little better, not a whole lot. It's an economic crisis that we have nationally. It's a crisis that is forcing or having community colleges re-look at themselves, look at their missions, look at what they're doing and why they're doing it, and then trying to find ways of doing it better with less.
I know that the Long Beach Promise is being considered a model throughout the nation, but what about the reverse? What have you seen? What have you learned? What programs have sparked your interest as a chair of this organization from other states?
Well, the the one that stands out the most is what's going on with nursing programs. Most community colleges have nursing programs that have a long history of success. And because of that, there seems to be this wave of financial opportunity for nursing students and actually for community colleges to charge more for students who are in in nursing programs, because when they succeed in a nursing program, the need is so high. There's a job waiting for them.
Oh no, there's a dearth of nurses, and you can get paid very well.
They can call their shot. They can go wherever they like after they complete their nursing programs, and because of that, there's been this wave of this movement towards creating nursing programs that are maybe much more separate than from the community college,
as a way to create
almost
higher
independent,
fees.
almost independent, and not in a way to create higher fees, but to get students motivated to finish their schooling. See, and what the College Promise does, and the reason why it's such a model for nationally is because students who make a commitment to participate in the College Promise are making a commitment to finish, to gain success. And it's all about student success as well as access. And the access component of it leads students to be able to enroll in classes, enroll in universities, and then complete their programs. And by using community colleges as that takeoff point, they're able to do that. And it's a model that we're trying to, that I've been pushing for nationally by getting the National School Boards Association, which is the K-12 national group, engaged with us, with the ACCT, and create those bonds and build those bridges so that we can look at curriculums, we can look at what we're doing with our K-12 systems and what we're doing at community colleges, and how we can work together to engage more students and to ensure success.
But what about smoothing the process from community college to the four-year institutions? Is it smooth in California and not elsewhere? Do we need more smoothing here?
Well, it's smoother in California, because there are a lot of what they call articulation agreements that are being formulated between community colleges and the various universities. Long Beach City College, for an example, has articulation agreements with Long Beach State, obviously, but also with the universities nearby, Cal State Fullerton and Cal State Dominguez Hills.
Is that a new trend?
It's a growing trend. It's a growing trend. And what it does, obviously, is it provides with the universities an opportunity to increase their success by having students who are already better prepared, with more knowledge about higher education. And once they get there, they know what they need to do.
In our final moments, I must ask, what is next for Roberto Otunga?
You know, I've been asked that frequently, and I'm evaluating it. It all depends on what happens in 2014. I just got reelected, unopposed.
By the way, you have run unopposed 3 times.
Yes.
Your first election, you won by 100 votes. Since then, you've never had an opponent.
Yes. And so I'm good until 2016. But the next election cycle, obviously this year I didn't do anything because I'm on the national board.
Of course.
But 2014, there might be some opportunities out there that I can throw my hat in the ring and see what the results.
I want to thank you for joining us. I want to congratulate you on living a lifetime of firsts. And I know that both Long Beach and the nation are better off because you have taken a leadership role in community colleges. His name is Roberto Uranga. He is a member of the Board of Trustees of Long Beach Community College, as well as the current national chair of the Association of Community College Trustees. He has lived a lifetime of firsts. My name is Brad Pomerance. Thank you so much for watching California Edition.